May 2nd, 2018. Dushyant Sharma tells his pregnant wife he has an urgent work emergency. He leaves his home late in the evening, but he isn't heading to an office. He borrows his father's Hyundai i10, stops at a medical store, and picks up a bottle of expensive wine. He expects the night to end in a secret, romantic encounter with a woman he recently met online. He drives through Jaipur toward an apartment complex known as Eden Garden. Dushyant believes he is initiating a romance. He is actually driving straight into a meticulously planned ambush. Waiting for him is Priya Seth. On the dating app, she presented an irresistible profile. In reality, she was a catfishing mastermind with a hidden, violent past. In this digital environment, the anonymity used for connection creates a blind spot. A predator can craft an entirely fictional identity, slowly building enough trust to convince a stranger to walk into a secluded room alone. To understand how Priya reached this point, we have to look at 2011. She grew up in a strict, middle-class household in Rajasthan, where her family of educators fully expected her to follow their footsteps and become a professor. The shift began when she moved to Jaipur for college. Living on a small monthly allowance while surrounded by wealthy students, she became obsessed with a lifestyle she couldn't afford. She crossed her first moral boundary by taking a job as an escort. It quickly devolved into a scam. She would demand upfront payments at hotels and vanish the moment the cash was in her hand. By 2014, she was attempting an ATM heist with a gas cutter. When the police caught her red-handed, she secured bail by pinning the entire crime on her boyfriend. Her extortion grew more ruthless. She blackmailed a different ex-boyfriend for cash, threatening to throw acid on his sister's face if he refused to pay. Because she repeatedly bypassed serious prison time, her fear of consequences vanished. By 2018, she had become a predator who viewed the justice system as a minor inconvenience. The motive for her next move was simple greed. Her new live-in boyfriend, Dikshant, had accumulated a massive debt of nearly 25 lakh rupees. They used dating apps to explicitly target a wealthy mark, hooking Dushyant while he was posing online as a rich businessman named Vivan Kohli. Back at the Eden Garden Apartments, the trap is finally sprung. Dushyant, expecting a romantic evening, arrives at the designated flat and steps inside. Instantly, Dikshant and an accomplice corner him. They physically attack Dushyant and force him to call his family to demand a massive ransom for his life. Then, the fatal twist. Dushyant's family is middle class. They can only scrape together a fraction of the money. Looking through his wallet, the kidnappers realize their rich businessman was a fiction. Frustrated by the lack of a payout, Priya and her accomplices murder Dushyant. They stuff his body into a suitcase and dump it in the woods. Dushyant was executed simply because his fake persona failed to satisfy the financial greed of his predators. The police investigation led to an immediate arrest. During her interrogation, Priya sat entirely relaxed, laughing as she detailed the murder with zero remorse. Despite her crimes, the system transferred Priya to an open jail in Sanganer. It's a facility with no high walls or armed guards, where inmates are encouraged to live as a community. Inside this facility, she met Hanuman Prasad, a man serving life for the brutal murder of his lover's husband. Within the open jail, these two convicted killers began a romance and decided to marry. The system granted them both a 15-day parole to leave the facility and host a fully catered traditional wedding. Now it raises a final, enraging question. Did the justice system protect society, or did it act as a matchmaking service that rewarded remorseless killers with a happy ending?